Yeah, happy Monday. Happy Monday, sports fans. Yeah. So here in El Paso, I don't know. It's going to guess the whole country's this month is going to be AIDS carrying Pride Month. So they really it's the I was watching Scott Baio talking to Jesse Waters about this guy Pratt Spencer. Says the Democratic, the gravy train, the machine there in California won't let them. They'll do anything to, you know. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, you know. You look at Maxine Waters; they're just 107 years old. You know, just that power. I'm watching Don Jr. Guess he married. I seen him with a nice looking lady. Well, all dressed up like what New Year's down in Florida. Got rid of that Kimberly Guilfoyle, whatever. She got a great pair of legs, but the face is like she got her a white man, you know, like Lauren Sanchez grabbing a hold of that Bezos, whatever the fuck is fucking give him that Mexican pussy, you know, that Latina shit. Hey, women in general, you know, they reel you in, you know. They act like they're innocent and all that, but they got twice as much of the brain working. So a guy don't have a chance really. You just try to, you know, do the best you can. You hope you get along with somebody. My buddy was telling me that since the little girls are young, I think his girlfriend had a daughter or something. One of them was, you know, man, they start controlling, manipulating you since they're 3 or 4 years old. They learn how to do that. If you watch some of these videos on Insta, that's, you know, little girl got the daddy wrapped around the and the grandparents or whatever, you know, well, the grandparents, they too old to take it. It don't matter. Do this, do that, whatever. It's 90, I think it's 92, 94 in El Paso. Just kind of slow down real quick, you know. Yesterday 97, today 99, and at tomorrow like 96, and then it's going to drop 10 degrees. I'm talking to my friend. I got an old fridge, but uh, it worked. I retired. I came back. I'm here every day now. That fridge last summer, I'm watching it real close, and the new ones are 2,500 to 4,000 at Home Depot, and the used ones are kind of small. They're 150, 200 on up Facebook and all that. So I thought, well, maybe try to maybe get a small freezer, probably 2 or 300 bucks. Put it in the other side of the house, you know, just to keep food stored. You got a little backup just in case for emergency, whatnot. And fucking mess. I was looking at the data centers. They snuck in 3 or 4 thousand all over the country already. I just started hearing about that shit. Like, what the fuck? So they got the turbines that make a lot of noise, 24 hours. And if that does, I had a thing out in Pecos with the oil refinery or whatever they got over there. At night when I started sleeping, it was fucking beautiful. You could hear a pin drop, but just like you know, my sleep's already fucked. I was driving truck. It just got parked in the back. It's nice and quiet. Fuck it, I'm going to sleep. the minute here comes the reefer parks right next to you. And they got the quiet ones now. They used to be really. I mean, you can't even sleep. You get used to it. You get so fucking tired, you pass out. But that sleep thing, but you can adapt and adjust. Take naps whenever. My son slept 2 or 3 hours a day for 17 years, and then I was driving a truck. So I'm 77. It's not going to kill you that minute, but I don't think it's good in general. My dad and mom was like clockwork. Eat at 5 p.m., go to sleep start to relax around 7, 8, go to sleep 9, 9:30 at night, get up at 4 in the morning. That was like, we're worse than Hitler. Regimented, they call it. But both my parents lived to be 100. So, yeah, I always thought is that, you go out and live life, have some excitement, be a wild, crazy guy, or have fun, blah, 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 or just be a conservative, like a robot. I don't know. It is what it is. Like I say, I read my Bible and I pray to God. Just hey, whenever you're ready, God, I'm ready. Family's all gone, and my son died. My ex is a piece of shit. I use this thing here to vent. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I see. Yeah, I smoke my cigarettes about 10 a day, 10 or 12 a day. I get a little bit stressed. I was hitting those Camels unfiltered, man. It killing my tooth because the heat off off the cigarette. This one's filtered, and then I use that plastic filter that cools it down a little bit. But in Europe, we had the same discussion. 1970 in Europe at the train station, they put their hand together like a little uh, basket or something, and breathe into your uh, suck out of that little hole there because it lets the smoke go down into your hands like a little pocket, but it cools it down like right away. So I had forgotten about that. I did that in the truck a couple of times. I started smoking, next thing, a couple of times in New York. It says, man, you hot boxing it and all that shit, but it's I get caught up. Yeah, rat racing, trying to move. Oh shit, I forgot this. I better get that. And uh, oh fuck, yeah, I forgot something else. Everything's tied together. So what I'm trying to do now, I came back 20 years, and my mother says with my son, he was just one thing at a time. She was like about 85, 87. One thing at a time, do something and do it right, whatever. That then go on to the next thing. I don't know. I said, let me try it because my way ain't working. I did that with JB Hunt. Well, my truck started when I first bought it, I had 1,000,000 miles to start out with. Yeah, but the thing was, it was dialed in, whatever, whoever repaired it, Freightliner, whatever. That thing was fast with that Cummins, and then got 1.5 million, 1.6, 1.7 million. Everything's wearing out. You take it to have it fixed, but I was doing research on that too. It's like I'm going to say, in general, most people rebuild that at 1,000,000 miles. You rebuild it inline or take it out, get a complete rebuild, which costs money. Everything's money related. I don't know if it had been rebuilt. And like this photo I got in Florida when I broke down is a Cuban piece of shit that owned the place, Oscar. He fucked me out of fight. I got you a good mold. All gaskets new. You high end motherfucker. So I drove it back. I drove a couple loads, got back to El Paso, and it was like 1,600 to get all the head gaskets. A lot of labor. Taking off the heads or having the Jake brakes and then the heads. It finished within one day. I think I was over there. Where the fuck is that? Missouri. Guy did it one day. I figured it's two, three, four guys taking turns on, and the guy picked me up and put me in a motel. Picked me up the next day. At the labor, I think he looked it up in the labor rate manual, which is I think it's around 10 hours or something. You got to take the jake brakes off, one, two, three, and take the heads off, one, two, three. You got the air impact guns, and it's heavy. Well, these guys are like monsters, man. Anyhow, that's basically 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours to take everything apart, and then the gaskets are right there. So you just take those off, put the new ones on, and bolt everything back up. But then, you got to adjust the injectors, the rocker arms. So I had a guy do that on an old timer. Did that in Southern Illinois at Troy. Crossing the TA, there's a Freightliner there with a body shop, a training center. This old timer, the guy said, probably about 4 or 5 hours. He didn't even know. The old timer came in at night. I think it was around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I went to sleep with my son, and he starts in. Brr, 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 brr. I mean, he didn't. I never seen a guy work like. I mean, this guy was like on television, like a movie or something. And hour 45 minutes, he walks with his complete silence. I was sleeping with the noise. All of a sudden, you could hear a pin drop. I look around, I say, hey, maybe the guy wants to take a break or something. I don't know. First time I ever did that. I get up, climb down from the bunk, and go in there. Yep, you're done. I thought you said 4 or 5 hours. 5 or 6 hours. Hour and 45 minutes. And he says, "Oh, that's Joe there. He been doing this 40 years or some shit." I said, "Well, can I test drive it? I got my trailer parked over there." He says, "Yeah, go ahead." So I ran it about 6 blocks to the first light. I mean, the thing was like run like a rape tape. All the adjustments, like points on a car is it's around 25,000, about the same thing, but he got it down to whatever. I should have sat there and watched him and talked to him a little bit, but I'm so fucking tired. Anyhow, they get a little better fuel mile. I mean, you're pinching pennies. You're watching every penny, every little. Give you 2/10 of a gallon more times. It's going to save you. Then they raise the price. You can't win out here. So anyhow, like I said, I was I had enough, man. My knees killing me from hitting that clutch, and I'm 77, and said I had enough. I ended up with $1,000. Well, with JB Hunt, what I did, I started slowing down, and then I understood that sometimes they have a good load. If you take an extra minute or two to look a little bit, all the most loads they put them out like first thing Monday or something. A bunch of loads, but maybe wait till Tuesday or something. Wait till the rush is over with, and then there's one there that they're paying good. They just need it to get over. They got their bases covered. It's not as competitive. It's more specialized or something. I said, here's a fucking, Monday. Here comes all the fucking heavy loads, and I had an old trailer and all that weight. They're wearing out your brakes more. It's costing you more for fuel, and then to start fixing the trailer costs you a bundle, and it's I don't know if they call that the industrial. Just started taking two pallets going from El Paso. They got chili pepper or something going to Maryland or some shit. 2800, the same as 40,000 pounds loaded up. I was doing deliveries out of LAX where they had, I think, 2 gallons of specialized paint from going from LA to, I don't know, some government project or something up in San Francisco. The guy took it over the weekend in his van, basically one day, Saturday or something. And it was 800. Everything else is paying $30, $40, $50 during the week. So he took he had an older van, but he took it up and come back, and he didn't break down or nothing. So you're supposed to take turns. Everybody get a weekend call. I don't even want to work during the weekend. I want my time off, but for something like for $800, I want to take it. I'll take Monday and Tuesday off or some shit, whatever. To fix my car good. You got a buck. That was back in around 84, 85. So anyhow, I was taking on Saturday these data reels or something for Stater Brothers Grocery, like one or two. Take it up to the headquarters up in San Bernardino, was counties, Riverside, somewhere. It was an hour away, 90 miles or so, hour and a half, something like that. I ran up, I think it was 60 something miles. Ran up, dropped it at the office Saturday. There's nobody there. Pull up in a car, put it in the front seat, run it over there. I was like up and back, and I was done like in 3-4 hours Saturday morning. It was $60, $80. Back then gas was $1. I had a Nissan. Gas was I think about 80 cents, something like that, a gallon. So $3-4 for gas, run it up there and back. But in fact, I had an old Datsun, a little 4-speed, 4-cylinder. Yeah, so come back, and on the way back, the guy said it's a steady run on Saturday. Are you kidding me? Beautiful. Been there about a year and a half or so. Beautiful. I went on the way back. I stopped at L.A. Motors or some shit downtown. There's a car dealership. I said, let me look at a newer car. Oh no, that gave me 220 for a 4-hour round trip. 220. Back then, that was fuck me, man. I went to look for a new car. This is $200 a month payments or something. I got a 2-year-old Nissan with what they had 20,000 miles, 23,000 miles. Little 4-cylinder, kind of the new. That was one of the best cars I ever had. Turn that key and go. But I think a week or two later, they canceled that run. He said, hey, I got some bad news for you, man. They canceled that run. Somebody else grabbed it. Somebody found out what it paid. They said, hey, John, man, I'll run over there. And people will drive 2 hours just to get to a job in L.A. through 2 hours up, 2 hours back. That's California. It's not smart. they're so desperate because they got the girl, she's pregnant, and they got they got all them, you know, new housing developments, you know, 150, $200,000, you know, the California dream, the American dream. So John Doe wants to get that pussy once a month and have a family and all that. So he's driving. I talked to one or two guys and said, "How the fuck you drive 2 hours to work and then 2 hours home? That's 4 hours extra a day." So don't tell California. They're stupid and they're desperate. That Immigration Act of 1965 let all the Mexicans in. Fuck you, you white boy, you American. I'm making money. I got a wife and a fuck you. You're paying through the fucking nose. You're stupid. You're not union. That undercuts. They don't care. They figure. Yeah, they don't tell you the whole story. They don't want to talk to you. Maybe you got the mom and dad and the cousins, the abuelitas and all that. Everybody giving you a couple of thousand. See Goodfellas, where the guy got married. Henry Hill got married to his wife, and here come the envelopes after the dancing and the ceremony. Hey, congratulations, the kiss. Here's a fucking envelope with, you know, they end up with 30, 40 grand. You know, that's a gift. I ain't got all that. This is just straight, no grease, uh, business. You know, so do what you can. Oh, you get a break every now and then, but it ain't nothing to write home about. But I don't see. I mean, you can see the motherfucker snub you with that attitude. How you doing? Hey, nothing. Or he got his wife. Okay, fucking. I hope she could cook, cause she sure is ugly. And he got two or three kids bouncing around in the back. Fuck all that. You got a little four-cylinder. I was selling used cars. The Mexicans. Uh, too much gas for the V8, and fuck America, fuck American made. You know, everything cheap, cheap, cheap. We used to wear Levi's red tag jean. We were poor basically back in the 50s and the 60s. Fucking $85 at the truck stop where I looked online is 80, $85. They used to be $5 or $4 or $3 or some shit. Inflation, but you know, I got these on a Walmart. I think they were 12 or $14. George, kind of like this. I don't know if that's somebody when Kennedy started that magazine, George or something. I don't know. I think they were trying to use uh, whatever. Dead broke. I like the Wranglers. I think they're about the same price, right around $14. They had them for $8 about 6, 7 years ago at Walmart, and they jumped up to 14. I ain't gonna pay no more than that. In fact, I keep my old ones. Got a hole in the ass or something. I'm going to cut out. I got some scissors. I'm going to cut out a piece of denim and just sew it. You know, my mother taught me how to sew. I got thread and needles and all that just to make it last a little longer. It's surprising, you know, that you can get away with, that little buy time. So that back to the truck, the same thing, you know, doing the repairs. It's just that you started getting these motherfuckers after COVID, state inspectors about, let's say around 27 to 35, young, you know, I'm going to be 77, young kids. But what they do, and I've noticed it with some that are a little older, they read it's a 700-page rule book, federal regulations. Now, you got cattle haulers and old timers. These old motherfuckers have been there forever, and they got They're white. 99% is white, maybe an old black guy or something, but they made money for the last 40, 50, 60 years. They got to, everything is under control. A lot of them were vets, they give each other a break. Don't tell me they don't. And, the last name was Johnson. It's not Gutierrez. I got into it with one guy outside Memphis over there. I should have kept my fucking mouth shut. I don't feel like it. I'm tired. I says, yeah, who the fuck are you? You're busting my boy. I came from Vegas. By the time I got to Memphis, I'm tired, motherfucker. This is a stupid miniature golf course, amusement type, heavy shit that went in the truck. There was 7 of them kids. I got a punk rocker, some Generation Z or some shit jumping off the back of the trailer and I was hanging around. I said, fuck them. I ain't helping. I help them get started, but this guy's got some cheap sneakers, and he's jumping off the back. Kid, looked like he's 15 or 16, but don't be jumping off the back. I says, you know what? Fuck these mother. I'm so fucking tired. Been sitting in the truck stop 3 or 4 days. Depressed. So I'm going to sleep. Fuck them. That's their load. That's their problem. We get it out to North Carolina. The guy bought it, flew out to Vegas. They're selling, found it on the internet or something. It's got an amusement little store. He's, just selling oddities or something for the kids or something. So he went over there, I don't know, spent 7-10 grand, something like something. Anyhow, so I'm driving it all the way back to North Carolina, 2,800 something. It was a half-ass load, 10, 11,000 pounds, 14, something, a light load basically. Not. I get over there and I'm dropping it off at his fucking house. He's got one of them, like an acre or two, with the house in the back. It had been raining over there. So I start backing up and it's fucking tight. It ain't a truck stop. It's a private residence. And with the ditches, a 2-lane street, highway, stop sign, and with the little ditch on the corner. I got a backup stop trap tighter than fuck, It took me a couple tries to get up there. I'm almost to the top. This little yard comes up to the back with a little incline. Fucking wheels start turning. It's stuck in the mud, Motherfucker, I get my chains out. The guy puts them on for me. We'll put them down. Stretch to try that. And I got it off. And I said, got it up there. He said, I knew you could do it. Hey, fuck you, motherfucker. Anyhow, the redneck, I'm from Texas. I don't give a fuck. How you doing today? Go park in the back. Motherfucker. I'm trying to make some time on Saturday so I can get over. I need my money, We're going to do it. How you doing today? Yeah, fuck you. I said, I was doing all right. What the fuck do you want, man? I got a 98 Freightliner, Vitos, Vitos, apostrophe S, Vitos Trucking Company. Ain't washed the truck, I wash it once or twice a year. 60, 80 bucks. That's how fucking tight it gets, Truck and trailer, 60, 80. If you want that acid wash, another 10, 15, 20 bucks. Trailer comes out like this, the chemicals. But if you got that, my JB Honda's tighter than a motherfucker. I was asking for a little more money. They give it to me. And then when I get my paycheck, I'm, $150, $200 short. Yeah. Hey, John, I'm 100 and a quarter short on my pay. What's up? Oh, hang on a second. Tell the guy to go fuck himself. Hey. Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm talking to the manager. I'm going to transfer you real quick, but you get disconnected. You're sitting there 45 minutes waiting, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes waiting on these motherfuckers. They just fucked you. I said, okay, the guy fucked me. You try to get in with a independent, this motherfucker, you got to pay $40 a month. You got to call. The same runaround. Just telling people so that they know everybody's talking about that on the making of. But you can't stop them. It's the same way like the politics in California. These motherfucker telling me, guy's about 22, 23. Christmas time, I say, hey, let me get an extra buck, man. I need to, boom. I mean, I'm hurting. I gotta buy my girlfriend a diamond bracelet for Christmas. Buy her a $2 bottle of wine, motherfucker. Ain't you got no rap? Ain't you got no heart? Ain't you got no soul? Don't you know how to talk? She probably don't love you anyhow, motherfucker. Just buy some condoms and a dozen roses, half a dozen roses. Just get her one, fucking, where the fuck we going here? Princess Queen Elizabeth or some shit? Oh, you're being abusive with all that femininity shit and all that. Hey, I don't know. It's the game, but I mean, you gotta. Who's out here doing the work? See, it's you and your dick dictating the prices. How about the guy that's out here working his own business? And what about my American dream, motherfucker? So I get an attitude against white people sometimes. That most of them at JB Hunt are great. They're Irish. Some of them went to college. They got those little administrative type jobs. And a lot of them said, just like my friend said, they're hiring over here. They just get on the phone and just start talking to the truckers and all, and the manager sitting right there. Whatever. You can tell within a minute or two. You just talk to them for a minute. They used to want to talk to the. I give up there. The truck guy kept getting older and running. And these guys with the inspection, he red tagged me. Now I'm out of service. Well, I'm sitting in there. There's 4 guys come in with that specialized heavy equipment. Young motherfuckers, nice dress shirt and all. They all got their arm around each other, and here's the paperwork. White guys. Oh, okay. The guy just glances at the paperwork, at the weight. Oh, okay. Have a good day. You too, man. What And I'm standing there like a chump. They're looking at me real quick. I'm looking at them. Yeah, I get a little attitude. So he puts me out of service. I had a crack in the aluminum rim. The rim's like 20 years old. When it rains and shit, it looks like there's a little leftover little streak. And oh shit, my rim is cracked because it'll fucking break after a while. So about maybe 2 inches or something. Little spit on it, rubs off. It was just dirt. Well, this time, this guy, they do have eagle eyes. So he says, "Oh, is that?" And I said, "Probably just dirt." I've checked that many times. He rubs on it. It's a fucking crack. About 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So now there's a TA at Denmark. It's about 65 miles north of, about another 17 miles from that way station. And you do me, man, I'm absolutely broke, man. Can you let me roll on up there? I promise, swear to God. But that also tells you these guys don't trust nobody, that they've gotten fucked over by all kinds of truckers. So he says, no, you'll have to call them. So now they're charging me $400 for another 100 and 60, 80 degrees wholesale, dollars wholesale, about $80, $100. And then now as a TA, it's a road call. So that's 150 for the rim and 100 to come out and change it. Time you got to pay for their mileage up and back to the repair shop, and tax, and it's 200 and it's $450 by the time you're done. Well, the guy starts in with when I said he's making a copy of my driver's license. Says Victor Gutierrez, and I says it's Gutierrez because I'm from El Paso, Texas, and that's what really just kind of fucking with him, But the guy caught an attitude right away because I corrected him. That's a personal thing. The way you say my last name. If your name is Johnson, I'm not going to say Jimson just to fuck with you. You're disrespecting the family name. And that's basically what he was doing. He sized me up real quick. It doesn't matter if I'm busting my ass, been out there 10, 12 years already. None of that matters. He's decided, he's got a crew cut. I got a little bit of long hair. I'm like, patient, and I'm going to cost you money. And, if you don't like it and you get violent, you're going to get locked up, get criminal charges. So they got you over the balls. I understand that, And there's a tall guy, Italian guy from New York. He's sitting there with his Flying J coffee, like a prima donna, like Fran Drescher. And I'm just going to observe. I said, how long you been down there from New York? Oh, 3 years. I bought a house over here. And I had just looked up the night before. I said, Rikers Island has the most corrupt guards. It's all a bribery thing. You get what you So I'm talking about, I said, you know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, the guy says, oh, Victor, it says something. And I says, well, I'm 47 years clean and sober by the grace of God. He said, well, I got my Bible right here. I said, well, I got a Bible in the truck. I said, well, where we going with this conversation? If we was on a street or in a bar, we'd already get into it. Fuck you. But you can't do. You have to adjust, assimilate, or be a Muslim. Oh, yeah, no speaking English. But now you gotta. I'm not even a wise guy. I'm sitting there. Here comes TA. Now these guys Saturday afternoon they're ready to go home, so they closed up and went home. And I'm sitting in the back, and the guy took about a half hour, 45 minutes to get over here. And I'm thinking, they left. Oh, here comes Satan. Why don't you just go ahead and take off, man? Fuck them. Right about that minute, here come a big old black guy in a state trooper car. He pulls right in front of me. Just kind of lets me know they told him, I bet you better keep an eye on the guy. He's the type that would take off, I held still. I said, I'll do the right thing. The guys, for the love of money, if I'd have gotten that 17 miles to be there in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, target, maybe there's two guys ahead of you, take 2 or 3 hours, but you're going to end up to change a rim. You pull in the garage, they take the tire off, put the new rim on there, give you the old rim. and you're on your way. Put air in the new tire, put the tire back, put air in it. So rim, you're talking to the guy face to face at the shop. Okay, so I got you a little discount, $110 for the rim, and then labor's 120, so it's 350. So you could have saved $100 or something, but they don't think that way. Authority goes to the head, and it's like, that crack. If you probably put a little, if you weld it, aluminum welding, but there are very few guys that do that. Just give me a used rim for $60 or something, and that'll buy me some time. That'll last another 6 months to a year. Then you go through the whole thing again. It's a whole deal. I've been dealing with used cars since I was 14. So that ain't, like I say, that Nissan. It was 2 years old. That's the best car I ever had. And turn the key and go. The smaller tires were like 13 inches, something. The cheap, $28. Change the oil. I changed the oil myself. Everything's cheap. I built up my credit a little bit. Now the credit cards bend over, motherfucker. That's the thing. I don't know how things. Anyhow, the stock market was. I'm taking a break. I've been going at it since Christmas. Like getting a headache. Just keep looking at all that shit. Now I think it's 6 days in a row through the roof, just setting records and watching it this morning. I said, well, I ran out of money. I put a couple hundred more for Wednesday or Thursday. I said, finish up some of the fence and whatever I'm doing. Like right now, it's going to be hot. Fuck it. Just lay there for 3 days underneath the air conditioner. There's no use fighting it. You start getting dehydrated and everything else. So, trying to take care of my health a little bit. I just took a nap. I ordered from Walmart. Now the refrigerator, it's over 86 degrees. It's like put the milk in last night. It should be cold to ice cold, and it's like barely cool. I poured it out, made some chocolate milk, made some cereal. I'm like, right away, like, in 12 hours, it's like warming up a little bit. I don't want it to go bad. I might stick it in the freezer and wait a couple of days just to make it last. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. This is life. That's what I'm telling people. I says, hey, it's not a perfect world. And sometimes I had my heart set on that cereal yesterday, the day before, and I ran out. Oh, the milk was cold, but I went to get the sugar, and I got it was the little plastic thing I got. I ordered some plastic things with the lid that a cockroach has got on top of the refrigerator. You don't even see them. Sometimes the heat kills these cockroaches. But the sugar, I wrap up the 4 pound bag. So I fill up the little container with sugar, put that in the fridge, and I leave this on top of the fridge. I figured the roaches ain't going to get to it. Well, I'm wrong because I folded it up a little bit, but it unravels a little bit. And then motherfuckers, they can sneak in, any kind of little tiny opening. So what I did, I thought about it and never did this where you need a woman to buy those clips. I got 4 little clips for $1.50 to put on the cereal, anything that's open. And then I also got that because I can't stand to see the couple little brown legs. It must have died in there or something. I threw that fucking sugar out. Oh, there goes $2, whatever. You can't win. So I'm going to put that get like 2 containers, fill it up with sugar, and then put it on top of the fridge. That way the bugs can't get in there at all. Survival. trying to save every penny, every little thing you got, for your advantage. Like I say, that's one way. I read in the Bible years ago too. God abhors a miser. So I try to be thrifty and all that as survival instinct, but not a miser. My mother was painting. I got the last little couple of drops. I'm painting out in the middle of Pecos, and come on, son. She was waiting for me. We're gonna go get something to eat or something. And come on, yes. I still got, two brushfuls of paint left. She says, "You're being so fucking cheap. Make sure you get every drop." She's being so like my dad. I think about it. I thought about it, and then it's like in the Bible, it tells you to tithe whatever you got. 10% or the corners of the field you're cultivating. Let it go for the crows or the poor people or something. Don't try to get every little tiny thing. And I do that sometimes. I got a little problem. Just say, relax, have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. If it's starting to smell or starting to go bad, fucking toss it. Don't take a chance. I'm getting too old. If I eat something, I get botulism or something, I got to go to the hospital. It's a month of fucking toss it. Have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. It's only worth 20, 30, 40 cents right now. Don't worry about it. So I get my cigarettes. I was just watching here where the Indian to the pioneers, the settlers come in, and the Indians showed them about tobacco. So fast forward, they start to smoke. They show you how it grows and they cure it and all that, and they smoke it. It says the white man or whatever, back to England, we got fucking machinery up the yin yang. All these women, everybody spotless, and machinery all over the place to make sure that they dry the tobacco a little more. Then they put a little moisture. They got cabinets to give it the exact amount of dryness or wetness or whatever, and then cut it to stalk. And holy moly, I never knew all that. And then it's got to be the perfect friggin' size. I think it's kind of overkill, but they still. So if I get a $5, this costs $5. There's so much labor and machinery. These plants and factories and all that. They got to pay off that mortgage. $1 million, $2 million property, or $200,000 50 years ago, and they got that paid off, and they got to pay tax, and then they got to all have machinery, and then the maintenance, and all these employees just to make fucking cigarettes, and they want the quality to be like perfect. So this here, I can for the consumer's pleasure or taste. And I said, yeah, that's right. They got the good European brands and all the English, fucking good. I mean, there's an art to smoking. So over here, a lot of, why don't you quit smoking? Like the fucking young guy, I went to buy a carton, and he says, and I says, he was looking down. I've seen him before, but I said, yeah, let me get 2 Marlboro Red Box also. So now he grabs them, and then he goes on the cart, and he says, the guy's a good 25, 27 years old. I mean, you should. How many in the carton? 10 or 12? It's 10, motherfucker. You didn't know, So now he starts doing this. He's measuring with the carton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2 rows. That's 10. What you're doing, you don't trust me that I'm trying to beat you out of. When you come off different, I mean, I'm from El Paso. My dad, I've been in trouble, but I don't do that shit no more. I'm not trying to beat you. but maybe a little New York accent, or I got a little. He was with that kind of frilly mop style, Gen Z, whatever the fuck you want to call, big old fat fuck. Nice guy, but what are you making, $10 an hour? But everybody got to act like they. You see, I'm an old motherfucker. I had a guy who started pumping gas in Texaco in El Paso in 14. And it was a nice, gentlemanly looking, nice car sales guy or something that going state to state or whatever. And I fill up some gas. He back then with 10, $15, something like that. And I don't know if he got a pack of cigarettes or some shit, whatever. He gives me the fucking credit card. Back then, you run the credit card, and that's all they tell you is you got a thing with a carbon paper, and you lay it down, you put the credit card on top, and there's a little slide top part that you just slide it across, and it kind of pushes the information onto the carbon. You give the guy the top receipt, and you put the bottom receipt, tear off the carbon, put that in the receipt in the cash register. So this guy here, I guess he gave me a fake credit card or something. Something like that. I was in there, the guy takes off. It's like $15 an hour. Right away, back then, 1965, back then, the boss is going to come in and say, hey, man, you let the guy get away or something. Give me a fake credit card. White guy, business guy, white shirt, suit and tie, whatever. Because the first thing they'll tell you, man, you got to attitude. Same way in New York City, the black, somebody goes, hey, don't you ever get no attitude. Well, that's good advice, but can I explain to you why I have an attitude? Everybody want to just say something to get out of my way or do what I tell you or else. It's like, fuck you, man. That's low IQ. That's what I like about Trump. He gets right to the. Oh yeah, that's right. Most people, and most 80% of the population is stupid. But you can't go around thinking everybody's out here stupid. That's self defeating. Yeah, but there's a lot of good people. Fucking not too bright, but they're good people. They're not going to fuck you, or they're thinking about you, or they remember you, or some things that are important in life. Anyhow, so these data center things, they got that noise and they got the turbines. If I think they're trying to go back to the nuclear energy, it should be cleaner and quieter, I think. Cheaper. I think that's the deal. But they already built 3,000, 4,000 of them. How the fuck? Excuse me. Yeah. They're going to give you AI, give you information 10 times faster or 20 times. They showed me how to press the button on the microphone when you need to ask Google a question. You can press that microphone. What is the capital of Utah? You got to wait a second. AI is thinking. There it is. All kinds of information. Quicker, easier than texting it. Yeah, I don't like to text anyhow, but so this is going to be faster. I think I got 3.5 years of college. I'm 77. I don't know. I'm not like Joe Biden stumbling on the airplane steps, and not to that point yet. Of course, he's about 5 or 6 years older than me, but again, too, you don't see a lot of the older politicians. You don't see them on a smartphone or nothing. And like AOC, they're putting out clips which gives them all kinds of people that are looking at what they're saying. The younger ones, oh yeah, she said that, and they don't hear the older ones. So right away they start gravitating towards the socialist, communist BS with that fucking broad, man. Yeah, it's ugly to start with. All the old senators want to go out with me. They'll go out with a fucking turtle if you know at night. You know, they're used to young men and all this shit. Yeah. So what does that mean? That they're perverts? Yeah, yeah, they're perverts. They're fucking pedos. They're fucking sick motherfuckers. Not all of them, but it says there too in the Millionaires Row, the Billionaires Row, whatever. Right, I think a mile or so over from the White House. There's all these townhouses that are 300 years old. All the power players. They tell you this shit. So how do you? They go to the certain clubs, the old boy network, the lobbyists want to see the new ones. They have a little convention or something, and probably the lobbyists pay for it and have steak and lobster, whatever, and cocktails and open bar. Ah, the fucking kid. Hey, I just became a senator, and mom and dad are proud, and there's a freebie extravaganza. Oh hell yeah, I'm going to that thing. Well, guess what? So now, are you enjoying the food and drink that we have provided? So next time you see me, remember who bought you dinner. And, they probably say that look. Next thing the guy's voting for something. Oh yeah, that guy told me. Your mind works in a heartbeat. You don't have to say nothing. It's, oh yeah, yeah. I don't want that thing to pass. I'm going to vote no because his buddies over there is watching it. He said we're watching you, and we can see on record as public record. So they manipulate whatever they want, and there's money. Tell them we got that envelope that, and they watch it a little down and out. They just got a divorce or some shit, and it's like, Jones. Yeah, I remember. I heard you had a little, if you need a little financial help, I'm here for you. Another 5 to 10 grand. You buy yourself a new car, get a new girlfriend or some shit. Yeah, I go. Oh, hey, thanks, man. Well, now the guys through, and mum's the word. There's another little envelope for you. Only this one's going to be heavy. Maybe give them 50 grand or something. Make sure you vote it in or find out how to get the permits. You got the Elon Musk, all these trillionaires, and they get the investing Palantir, the government, or Black Rock or Blackstone or whatever the fuck that is, they're buying up all these properties and just raking everybody over the coals. So that's part of it. Because why? Oh yeah. Here's a chess game. Here's the scenario. We got to stay ahead of the Chinese. With the Cold War, it used to be we have to keep ahead of the Russians with the nuclear program. This is all government money. In a way, I guess they print up their own money and they make things happen. They have an idea to make them look like they're doing something, and then they're going to tell you it's for the people. It's a script. And there's also a way to squeeze money out of the citizens. Actually, is what they're doing, but they say it's for your own good or to help you. And sometimes I says, yeah, that's not all bad, and if it's going to help, by all means, it's going to help us maybe save a little money or make a little money where we could continue to survive. In the meantime, this one's making bank, but that's the way of the world, the way I look at it. I hate to have a pessimistic, fatalistic attitude, but, been my whole life. One reason I don't put an American flag because I lived in L.A. or the Cowboys in the El Barrio, in the hood, and it's Bloods and Crips and lunatics, drugs, and these people put it on fire with spray paint just to destroy or just to let you know they don't want you to see them. They do it in the middle of the night or something. That's why we can't have nice things, and I've been on the short end of that stick for so long. Like I was going to put a blue star on my trailer. That's mine. I paid for it, fixed, and spent all for Dallas. How about them Cowboys? You know what? You go in and take a shower or something, somebody's going to, put the Steelers on there or whatever the fuck, fuck you or something. It triggers them. And that's what I'm trying to figure out too. Stuff triggers me too. I'm just trying to figure out what is it? It comes down to First Amendment. And then with Facebook, it started, if you say the F word, boom, you're put in Facebook jail, 7 days, they suspend you or something. So you really can't. I said, well, let me stop and think of how to get the meaning across what I'm thinking in a polite way that doesn't swear or use, or curse, and they'll let that go. But the control over how you think, because a lot of time it's just impulsive. Yeah, fuck these queers over here with the gay months. How about the veterans? And they put a little laughing emoji like "fuck you." I had one girl. I said, "Fuck Long Beach with the gay month pride." Didn't used to be that way. I lived over there, driving a truck, busting my ass, keeping my nose clean. They've gained power. Something more than one ingestion is using the primary URL. Send one stream to the primary ingestion. What the fuck is that? Well, anyhow, I'll go ahead and get off here. Anyhow, it's your First Amendment right, and can't yell fire in the theater. But other than that, and then if you like it, give me a like or whatever. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm just venting and get a little benefit out of this. If I can help with Grandpa's advice, that's all. That's all I'm trying to do here. Everybody have a good day. God bless. Yeah.